Man, the NFL has my brother, head coach, Super Bowl runner-up, head coach Mike Vrabel in the chokehold, man. They got my brother in the chokehold. Now, he was forced to submit to being guilty of living the life he created. That's all he's doing. He's living the life he created. He had a family for a very long time. They haven't had any issues all of this time until now. Every man deserves a wife and a girlfriend. And as many, I ain't gonna say as many. But you know, when you have your situation and everybody has you have your understanding with your spouse and your family, and when y'all met and things like that, you know, one or two, just one. All right, one. I know the ladies not gonna like this, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's in the man's nature, man. It's in the man's nature to go out there and hunt. Yes, at the end of the day, the man needs to have enormous amount of respect for his woman. Now, I know it sounds crazy because, you know, it sounds like you're cheating and it's infidelity. So how can you have respect if you're cheating and there's infidelity? It's all about the understanding. You know? Don't show it in my face. Don't let the public know what's going on. Don't, you know, things like that. But when the public gets a hold of anything that they think can go viral, man, your ass is grass. But yeah, every man deserves a girlfriend, man. If you can handle it, you know, if you have the understanding correctly, you know, with your spouse, and financially, it's not a burden on anyone. Why not? In Africa, they can have as many wives as they want, right? Right? And the other thing, what's wrong with women? Other thing, women act like men get older and their needs all of a sudden don't change. We still have the same needs. I mean, the needs change. I'm sorry. We still have the same needs no matter how much older we get. We are still the same freaky man that you met in our younger days. Yes, a woman can't be as freaky as a man when we get older, you know, but we still want to have fun. So unless the wifey is still twirling on the pole and doing all the sexy, freaky shit we like when we met 20 years ago, or the first 20 years of our relationship, 15, 10, or whatever, how long it lasts, us men, we want to have some fun. And that's how, you know, ultimately, that's what it all boils down to. A man going outside and having a little fun, married or not. One thing a woman better never stop doing is entertaining her man, because we love to have fun. But man, it is being said. Mike Vrabel is contemplating resigning or basically being forced out. And he's talking about Mike Tomlin would be his replacement. Do they know Mike and Mr. Kraft? Mr. Kraft is a certified G. And Mr. Kraft is going to have Mike Vrabel's back. He better, especially after what he went through. After what Mr. Kraft went through. You know, women start having kids, settling down, and think it's a lock. I'm locked in this relationship. There isn't much more I need to do. I don't need to rub my man's back. I don't need to open up my legs anymore. You know, I can be as boring as possible and things like that. Man, all of the fun us men love to have can't just all of a sudden stop. All the fun we love to have and we used to have can't just all of a sudden stop unless we're too old to have fun. That's just how it goes. Then after a few years in a relationship, a woman start getting complacent and entitled. It's the last thing a woman wants to do. Get complacent and entitled, man. It's the last thing. But man, that's all I want to tell y'all. Men don't stop having fun. There's an exception to the rule. There's always an exception to the rule. You have the 1%, 2% of the men out there that keep to themselves and keep out of crazy situations. And for the most part, they only have one main chick. They probably messed around a little here and there, but they only have one main chick. They may slip up from time to time. Like I said, it's in a man's nature. But I cannot believe they got my dog seeking counseling to put on the front for the god doggone NFL. Yes, you work for these big companies and you're in a situation that isn't, the world doesn't see it in the best light. You have to submit to what they need you to do. And that's what happens you working for the NFL. He has to go to counseling. Like, what can a counselor say to Mike Vrabel about his relationship if there's already an understanding? What can a counselor tell him? How is he going to help Mike Vrabel? Or how is she going to help Mike Vrabel? The only reason this is a big deal, like I said, you haven't heard any problems out of Mike and his relationship for years. If it was something very small, it was probably very small. But the only reason this is a big deal, because some little jerk decided to go behind the counter, take his little iPhone and snap a picture and make it a big deal. Because the pictures were leaked, it's a big deal. Trust me, man. Trust me. Mike has this situation under control. He has this situation under control. Yes, my brother Mike Vrabel has the situation under control. But it's crazy. It says the Patriots, I am Mike Tomlin to replace Mike Vrabel. Now, don't pay attention to this nonsense. This is an article that came out. This is a non-factor. I don't see Mike Vrabel being replaced this season as the head coach after so much success. And Mike Vrabel says, as I said the other day, I promised my family, this organization, and this team that I was going to give them the best version of me that I can possibly give them. In order to do so, I have committed to seeking counseling starting this weekend. Vrabel said, this is something that I have given a lot of thought to and something I would advise a player to do if I was counseling them. I have always wanted to lead by example, and I believe this is what I have to do to be the best husband, father, and coach that I can possibly be. This is not an easy thing for me to admit, but it is one that I know will make me a better person. I appreciate the support that everyone has given me and promise a stronger resolve as a result. Resolve as a result. That's what Mike brother had to say. Now, if you notice, Mike Vrabel says, and I quote, "This is not an easy thing for me to admit, but it is one that I know will make me a better person," unquote. Of course, he doesn't want to admit that he was doing anything wrong when what's understood doesn't need to be explained. They're making him admit that he was doing something wrong. He don't want to admit to this. This is not an easy thing for me to admit. That's basically telling you, I don't want to admit this shit, but I got to, because all the noise surrounding me is making me admit this shit. So I have to seek this counseling when I've had a happy marriage for all these years. Now I have to bow down and act like this is the biggest deal in football, in the 2026 football offseason. Man, Mike Vrabel created the life he wanted to live. You know? Now, the problem with this for the man, now you got to put your side chicks on pause for a little while because all the noise that is surrounding him. Now he can't live the life that he created and he wanted to live. Now he has to live someone else's life and by someone else's rules. Dang. No side chick, no girlfriend, nothing but a wife right now. You've been with your wife for years and the routine is the routine. God dogging. You're going to force Mike Vrabel to end up at Strokers Take One. What is the new strip club down here? 24K. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. But hopefully, man, Mike Vrabel, man, he's a little older than me, about 5-6 years, probably 7 or 8. I don't know, man. But hopefully Mike has had enough fun that he can reminisce about to keep him occupied for a little while he has to seek counseling, and deal with the HR department of the NFL, let's just say. But if I was in Mike Vrabel's predicament and I was forced to seek therapy, counseling, any of this mess, my therapy counseling session would go something like this. Counselor, this is the counselor speaking. Mr. Salmon, what do you have to say about the picture floating around that has caused a big situation? Let's just say. My reply, Asante, I was just simply enjoying myself. Counselor, do you think you were setting a good example? Asante, absolutely. I'm teaching everyone, be happy, live your life. Live the life you created to live. Counselor, what do you mean by that? Asante, I live by my own rules, not the rules you people think I'm supposed to live by. Now, I don't want to go to jail or anything like that, so I have to obey the law of the land and things like that. But I don't go by y'all rules when you're saying, probably 50% of y'all rules don't apply to me. I'm teaching folks how to be happy. It's plain and simple, counselor. And I'm sure the counselor has no further words after that. Because what can you tell a man when he says, I'm living the life I created to live? No one has a problem with my situation in my inner circle. Like I said, Vrabel has the perfect boss in Mr. Kraft, man. Mr. Kraft surely understands the G code, and he's going to have Mike Vrabel's back. This is a non-issue. This is a non-issue that has to look like a big deal. This will not cause Mike Vrabel his job and make him resign. If this season is a shitty season, then we will need to be concerned about Mike Vrabel as the future head coach for the New England Patriots. Then you need to worry about it. But besides him having a side chick, ain't nothing to worry about, man. Y'all just chill on out. There's a lot of people out there got side chicks.